Okay, so I may have forgotten to put starting soon on the screen. Oh well, doesn't matter. It's a live stream. I'm back. Hello. We don't need that any there. And yeah, hey everyone, it's Too Cool here. Welcome to another Skinny Man development live stream. I say another. It's been a long time since I've done one of these. But yes, hello. The green screen's not doing too well right now, but I cannot be bothered to fix it or make it look better because, I don't know, I'm not actually playing a game where it matters, like, at all. But damn, that is wrinkly. So yeah, today we are going to hopefully be at least trying to model the next entity that I'm adding to the game. But, oh boy, this is gonna be rather difficult, I think. Maybe. We'll see. Well, I don't have too much of a plan. I have kind of an idea, like it's gonna be an alien, as the title may have suggested. But before we get into actually doing anything, I need to do a bit of a rant about Windows 11. Because in the setup to the stream, I needed to restart processing because it started breaking and not showing the window for some reason. Happens sometimes, I don't know why. Debugging that would be... oh, sorry. Debugging why would be way too much effort, because the whole thing runs, it just visually nothing happens. Or the window exists, but it also never appears on screen. It's weird. Anyhow, so I had to restart it, so I, closed down, and then I went to open the file again. And this is where Windows 11 stepped in, because, obviously having a default app to open something like that's theoretically a good thing, Pretty simple, hard to get this wrong, right? Once it's a file association for file extensions made, you just double click and it opens. Except for some reason, Windows 11 has decided that a much older version of processing that I still have lying around, because I just kind of storage hoarding all the versions of processing that I've used. They're still just sitting on my system for some reason. And for some reason, Windows is like, this older version here, that's the one you want to use. The problem is, I cannot then select on Windows 11, at least. Windows 10 it would have been just fine. But on Windows 11, I cannot then select new version. Because on Windows 11, it uses the exact executable name as the signifier for this program is run. So I can select, I'll go into the file menu, I'll go and select the actual executable I want to use, and it'll be like, oh, we already have processing.exe on the list. You're fine, just use that one. Even if I've removed the old executable, this, the whole system, it doesn't update. So I'll remove the old executable so that can't even launch. I'll open the new one, and it'll still think that it's the old one. So because, it's always going to be named processing.exe, it's like, well, I already have this. File path doesn't fucking matter. File version, no difference at all. So that was fun. And I don't have a solution to this. I don't know, probably should restart my computer because I have driver updates I need to do anyway. Anyhow, let's crack open cold one and get to doing stuff here. I guess explaining what I want to make. So, I guess I gotta show off what I want to do. So, I'll do something I don't typically do on camera, which is actually play the game a bit to show you what it is that I kind of want here. So, play through the level. This might take a second because it is a bit deep into this level what I want to try to find. Now, to be clear, we're just gonna hopefully be making the actual like texture. We'll make the texture for this today. I'm not at all expecting to do the AI because I'm not entirely sure how the AI should act. Obviously, the entity that I have currently, their AI is relatively simple. Plus, I might want to do work on the collision system. Well, ideally, in the future, what I'll have entities are able to collide with other entities, and then we can have entity-to-entity interactions, kind of like Mario Maker in a way, because that would actually just be a lot more fun, quite frankly, and allow you to do more interesting things. But obviously I need to start with making my physics system actually work, because the problem I have currently with my entity-on-entity collisions, I did technically make that a thing that could happen, in 2D at least. I didn't even test it in 3D, because I'm pretty sure it'll be just as broken. But the problem I ran into was that if an entity was on top of another entity, and they were like both jumping, then they could clip into an existing ground object, which would cause them to be ejected Well, which is bad because the way my ground works is, or the way the system currently works, is it's just supposed to stop you from entering the ground entirely, and if you are entering the ground, I'm assuming that's due to gravity, and therefore it's safe to just kick you up to the top of it. I actually built something in the what is it? Level 7. No. Level 9. I built something on level 9 that kind of relies on it. I did not expect that. That kind of a little bit relies on that mechanic that is intended, but also maybe not supposed to be intended. Yeah, it is a little bit problematic. Also, how I detect the player colliding with these entities may be a tad problematic. The way I do it is, or whether it's the difference between you dying and the entity getting killed, I believe what I've set it as is if your hitbox overlaps a smaller hitbox on the top of the entity, it's going to be killed. I didn't want to do... Okay, I swear I was doing this a little earlier. Oh, well, maybe that's why. Okay, well, anyway. But yeah, I guess I could do it if you're like... The bottom of your hitbox is near the top. Why did that kill me? Anyhow, I could, I guess, do it where the bottom of your hitbox near the top of their hitbox and you're moving downwards with sufficient speed, I guess. I could make that be the kill target instead of just your collision with it happens to overlap the part of it where they can be killed. That's how it currently is. I should actually figure that out for the thing we're going to be building today. Okay, we finally got past that part of the level. I also got to figure out what I want the story of this section to be. Get some audio in there. Just to be clear, I don't know if this update's going to come out anytime soon. I've just set myself a list of things I really wanted to have in this version, or this next version, and it turns out this was one of those things. I've already done a bunch of stuff to the game to make it better under the hood, but this is a more practical thing. So, here it is. Containment breach. This is what I'm working on. Basically, right around here, they're supposed to have some aliens wandering around. I don't know what they're going to do, or what they're going to look like. Maybe I should go into Paint. And, do a little mock-up. Then we can figure out trying to model this in engine using the various primitive shapes that processing gives us, or maybe curves if I'm feeling generous, but I'm not. So, middle mouse button also. Okay, not what I expected. Yeah, middle mouse button is just draw. That's kind of annoying. Microsoft, what the hell? Anyhow. So, I'm bad at drawing. These are legs, alright? Again, I am kind of bad at drawing here. Boxy figure. Now, let's not do that. Let's say have it like... This looks so bad. It's also probably not going to be that big. This looks like a bird. This just looks like a bird. I don't know. Gosh, what am I doing? Again, I'm not entirely sure what I want this to look like. Here, let me open up a reference on my second monitor. Do I have 2 Google Chromes open right now? Oh, right. The friggin' unreliable nature of the taskbar. That's another thing I hate about Windows 11, by the way. How unreliable the taskbar is on other monitors. Here, actually, let's show this to the class here. Actually, let's do guest browser profile. Also, because I don't want this appearing on my search history and then get it advertised strange things on various websites. So, images. Here we go. Alright, so here's pictures, standard pictures of aliens. Maybe I could ask ChatGPT to generate me some concept art. Okay, maybe I'd want to take, like, that head shape from the xenomorph a little bit there. So here, no, that looks stupid. The thing is, okay, it'd have to be triangular like that. That'll work. And then, I don't know, I guess, you know, that's facing the wrong direction. There. That could be the head. And, I don't know, it's gonna have arms that are like... It's gonna have arms, which is weird because nothing in this universe has arms. That's why it's an alien. Because here, if I just go back to the game, the player doesn't have arms, these guys don't have arms, the, I guess we don't need to be in this level anymore. So, I could go quickly through this level and show off, that this guy doesn't have arms. The pirate, the 20-foot tall pirate doesn't have arms. No one in this universe has arms. So giving arms to the aliens would be, or yeah, to the alien, and they can look weird, I guess. Here, let me, you know, and we gotta make them like green. Is this the fill bucket? Yeah, that is. So you know, make their legs green, make their body gray, I guess. Their head can be, like, I don't know, a darker green. So this is a horrible mock-up, but I'd hope this would give you an idea what I'm trying to go for here. And like, I don't know if the alien is going to, well, I don't know just because I haven't decided. Maybe like, well, the thing with the alien is that he's like gonna have a gun or something. I don't know. And that's gonna be like how he attacks. Because, you know, these are gonna be hostile entities for now. So, oh, forgot you can't middle click to drag around. Okay, so this is potentially what our aliens are gonna look like. It should be a lot. Obviously, it's gonna be polygonal. Let's go open ChatGPT and have that. So, OpenAI.com. ChatGPT.com works as well. So it's gonna prompt me to sign in here in a moment, maybe. I'm not gonna. Generate me an image of a 2D cartoon alien that looks like it is made of. There we go. Alright, let's see what this comes out. Obviously AI art. No. Fuck you. Fuck you, ChatGPT. Can you use Google's? Can you use Google's AI while signed out? O-G-L-E. This. I don't know how. Okay, here. Not signed in. Let's see. Will this generate images for me? Okay. No one wants to generate me AI images for free, and I don't want to sign in because. Alright then. Apparently, we want to be accountable here. Well. can't search for images. I can search, but I can't. Well, I guess this is gonna have to be our guiding light here. Oh no. Well, in that case, let's get started here working on this. So, first I want to check out my entity. Or it's stage entity, I think. Because entity technically also encompasses player, which is different. Stage entity is the ones that have AI. Entities that can be placed in a stage, yeah. Wait. Oh, this adds on to entity, okay. Okay, so it is entity that I want to kind of look at for this boilerplate crap. Because yeah, I decided with this one, it's going to be abstract. I'm not going to define any fields. I'm just going to define all the getters and setters, and you can just figure it out. Basically, just figure it out. Well, that's horrible. Quite frankly, absolutely terrible. The two things I have for draw is the current game itself, which needs to be changed, and then just separately the renderer, which obviously is what we're going to want to use, but I need to create a separate entity rendering context that has all the things. I need to do these rendering contexts in general. That's something I'm going to do for the next update, probably. Alright, so just awful. But for now, we'll take the syntax of the draw function and slap that. How do you spell alien? Because that is something that I have obviously been struggling with here. A-L-I-E-N. I don't even know if I spelled it right in the stream title. Maybe? Oh, that's how you spell it. Okay. Alright, so new tab. A-L-I-N-E-N-T-T-Java public class. It will eventually extend stage entity. Oh wow, this is the first class. I did not expect this. Honestly, did not expect this to be the first class, but I guess it makes sense. It's an A, and and gate is the second one. So, all right. So for now, we'll just have. Oh wait, I need to actually import shit. So import pressing core all because lazy. There we go. Okay, we'll say, use floats. We'll worry about a 3D rendering later. X equals, let's just do 200, 200 as the position. And we can get everything else done later. Let me get the Java docs. The entity. We get this Java. Okay, let me get this. Okay, so we get this little Java doc here. It's not technically necessary, but I'll do it here anyway. We'll describe this. An entity, the enemy that can be found in game. Alright, so that's what that is. So how does it, so I say So the first thing I kind of want to do here is I want to translate and then scale. Is that right? Now I need to look at something that does rendering in the stage here on 2D, because admittedly I did the camera pretty poorly. To be fair, I did do this 2D camera stuff well before I knew about any of like the OpenGL camera stuff that processing offers. If I had to remake this all today, I definitely would always use the camera command for moving, or for both 2 and 3D, but to move around the stage in 2D. I definitely would use the camera command instead of just offsetting everything, because that's how 2D works. We just offset everything. Here we go. I don't have to worry about groups for entities. X2 equals, so we subtract the draw cam pause x and then multiply that by scale after our actual translation. Okay. Oh, I suppose we multiply this by the scale as well. Alright. So float draw x is equal to x minus context dot draw cam multiplied by context dot scale. Is that right? That is right. And then float draw y is equal to the same thing. So the only thing we have to keep in mind here is that we then need to multiply all of our offsets. Note. All value offsets need to be multiplied by do not multiply the x or y variables by scale. They already are scaled. Ideally, I would have some sort of abstraction within the context for rendering that would let me not scale it, or that would take care of the camera offset and scaling, and then I could just put in, or I could just throw in coordinates or whatever I want. Or just throw in whatever base coordinates I want, and that'll take care of scaling it and moving the camera position for 2D. I'll figure out something for that. Again, next update though. This update is purely this. Here. So, to start with, I'm going to render fill. I just kind of want to get a feel for where the center is. Draw x minus 1, which, yeah, 1 times. No, here, we're just gonna float scale equals context dot scale, just so I can save that locally. I guess that would just be minus scale, right? And then 2 times scale, 2 times scale. What did I do wrong? Draw y capitalized. Oh, it's rendered outright. So confusing that the PDE always highlights it. So, I mean, actually, this won't do anything over run. So, here, go into my variables. Scroll right the way down to the bottom here. So, right in here, we'll say temp A equals new alien entity. This is here purely for testing purposes. So then we'll go to the dev screen. We'll go here. Draw this comma G. Oh, temp A. Alright, so that should mean that we just see this thing being drawn when it pops up, or when the game loads, basically. This is how we do it here. It's not being. Oh no, it is. It's a tiny. I'm pointing at the screen. You can see it. This tiny red dot here, where my mouse is pointing. Hopefully, YouTube isn't compressing this out. That is our thing so far. I should put the player in there for scale. What kind of args are required for this? Hang on, let me check my asset for this. Oh, it's underscore. Yeah, I'm so consistent with how I float, int, p graphics. So these two floats are probably the x and y. So we'll do, say, 300, 200. 0 scale. 0G. Oh. Alright, let's see if this does what I want it to do. I think I remember those correctly. We'll see. One of those ints was shirt color, one of those is pose. Did not. Okay. Thanks. What are those arguments? Because obviously this doesn't give me the doc string first. So yeah, X, Y, pose, scale. Oh, this might do the scaling already. Scale, shirt color, and render. Yeah, so pose and shirt. So shirt color can be equal to 0. Do we not have pose 0? Ah, that's it. We have start at 1. There it is. That should do it. Weird how I don't. Yeah, it is kind of weird how I started that at 1. Can you tell that that is pretty old code there? In fact, I don't think that besides the shirt color, that code has changed all that much. Wow. It is not at all where I was expecting that to be. Anyway, the shirt color I don't think has changed all that much since... Or besides the shirt color, I don't think I've touched that code all that much. Where did I put the... That doesn't look right. Here, 200, 200's where I supposedly did that. And the scale's like... What is the scale here? 1.25. So... Oh. This is what I meant to do. 1.25. So what is that? I guess these aren't scaled coordinates for the player. I guess I gotta do that myself. So 250, 250 is ultimately where this is. Okay. So I'll just multiply these coordinates by scale. Alright, there we go. That should definitely fix it. Alright, now they're actually in line with one another. Alright, so now I can kind of tell what's going on. Obviously the player's center position is all the way down here. I kind of want the dot to be the center of the thing that we're making now. So I will, of course, be sure to do that. Alright, so now I guess we start with the body, right? Okay, center point. Okay, so the first thing I guess we do is the body. Oh, I also don't know animations. I haven't thought at all about doing any animations. I don't know if it will be animated. It might be. It's definitely probably going to be able to face in certain directions, so we should probably make that a thing. So render dot fill, tools, color selected. I could just put in the RGB values. Do a greenish gray, just to make it kind of different. Okay, let me just put this aside so I can type these in. 120, 152, 122. Alright. So this is going to be the body color. So here's the annoying thing. Using triangles. Render dot triangle. So Okay, well I guess to start with we'll say draw x comma draw y. That'll be the starting position for this triangle. Then I can say draw y minus, let's say, 10 times scale, and then draw x minus 10 times scale, draw y minus, let's say, 8 times scale. I might just decide that, heck, if I'm doing a lot of 10 times scale, 8 times scale type things, I might just make 10 scale a variable, or scale 10 a variable, or whatnot, which is just going to be automatically created to these, so it's a little bit neater. Alright, let's see what this triangle looks like now. This might be too small to be clear. I don't know these, I make it all up as I go. Ooh, I'm also going to need to make sure that any, well, I could probably just go through do this later. For triangles, especially if I make this all out of triangles, this would be easy. For any like x values or whatever, I can just invert the offset for directions. That'd be very easy, actually. That is not the direction I intended to go with that, though. But yes, it does need to be bigger, more generally. So let's go plus 20 here, and then 8 will go for 16. So we just double all that. Alright, that is a triangle to start with. Yay. Maybe that is a bit big. You know what? We'll reduce this by like half. Well, we'll reduce this to 15. 15. And 12. That's the number I was looking for. Wait for this to load before we make our next move. Okay. Trying to think of how I actually want to do this next. Risen being a bit quiet here. So yeah, so that going fully up is fine. I'm thinking, how do I want to go? Do I want to like... probably go up to kind of where like, or the neck, which I think is probably just going to kind of more pinch up. I don't want it to go to an entirely a single point. So I'm probably going to need to make multiple triangles here. But regardless, we're just going to change this one. Dang it. I closed it. I closed it. Dang it. So X, let's see, between 0 and 15. I could go to like 10. So plus 10 times scale. Let's try that. And Y, this is minus 20 times scale. Alright. Let's see. Another triangle. Triangle by triangle. That's how we're going to draw this thing. Okay, okay. And then I want another triangle that makes that come to a slightly wider point at the top there. So then we copy and paste this. And which point, we keep 2 points the same. The one that we need to change would be the one that doesn't change the X position, so this one. Right? Did I keep that open? No, I didn't. Because the first one got moved. The last one is the one that was already up there. No, the first one's up there. Wait, no. The one we need to move is the last one, which did move the X position. So this is going to go to 20 scale. And this one is going to go to, instead of saying, say, 10, we'll go to 7. Let's see what this looks like. Wait for the game to start. Yeah, shaders and stuff just takes a while, I guess. Ooh, that's hard to see, so I'll make that a bit bigger. But yeah, that does kind of go into more of a... So actually, we'll go like... Well, actually, straight up just go 5 there. Make that a bit of a thing. Okay, so that does provide a kind of like the neck area-ish, I guess. So now we can work on going down the body. And hopefully this is all properly scaling with size and such. Actually, I guess the best way to test that is resize the window. That looks like it. That looks good. That looks good. Oop. all the fact that all, to be fair, I am very impressed with myself with the fact that actually all looks perfect. Like it doesn't look like there's any sort of problem. It's just like boop, 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 as you'd expect. Oh, as if it's just rescaling an image. The image just gets zoomed in a bit. Perfect. All native. So, okay, the fact that my thing is actually scaling properly, though, that is good. That is good. Also, I assume that this camera's correctly. That's the other thing that I hope that this does. I'm actually going to keep this thing open this time. Because now we're going to go down. So we go back to the first triangle here. Hitbox-wise, it is probably just going to be a box around this thing, so don't expect too much of a problem with this, because I'm not going to like hyper-specific the hitbox to the actual thing. That'd be too much computational work. It is so unnecessary. Simple box. It can be tapered in towards the top, or maybe tapered out towards the top, but still. I mean, it doesn't have to be a box, but probably just 4 vertices is what I'm going to go for. And ideally symmetrical on the y-axis. Alright, so... I mean, let's just do an opposite thing where we swap the signs for y and x for now. That's not what I actually want for this for now, but it'll give us a start that'll show us where like the other direction's going to go. For instance, I do think I want to move this point, the y from this point up a bit. Yeah, that just gives us that in the other direction there. And I do kind of want to make this midsection a little bit thicker. Alright, so let's see. Visualizing. Alright, so we'll start by pushing this up 5 times scale. So it looks like there's more like connecting area in the center. And then we'll actually push it down, probably push it down a little ways. I don't think we need to quite push it out that far. Yeah. I think it's being probably pushed out far enough. Yeah, probably pushed out far enough. So yeah, we just push it down a little bit more, because I do want this thing to be a bit taller. Let's go to 18. 18? Actually, no, that's just straight up 20 times scale for that. The bottom of that piece. Give it a bit more height, because I do realize it is a little bit small. I mean, it's fine if it's small compared to the player. You know, aliens come in all sizes, I guess. Alright. Yeah, this mouse also might want to go up a little bit further at this point, so... we'll go -10 for there. Alright. And then we'll add the next triangle, which is going to go below this one. So this is going to be a little bit strange. So this one's going to kind of pull it back in a bit to where I guess the legs are going to try to attach. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do those legs well. That's going to be even more triangles. So this first thing is what gets the boot again. So we're down to 20. Let's go plus 25. And x plus like 5, I guess? Alright, let's see how this looks. Just kind of going with the flow on this. See, does this maybe look like an interesting alien-esque body? Ooh! Ah, needed to be -5. Okay. Other than that, yeah, that connection point to the upper body looks a bit better there. Should still have been -5, not +5. Whoops. +5 is the other part. Yeah. Yeah, that looks right. Actually, maybe not even back that far. Maybe we'll push that forwards a little bit. So let's -8, let's say. Yeah, that'll do. And then we'll have another triangle, which shares... Which one? I think it's... Is it the mid... Which points do I want to share with this? The one I want to move is the one that has the greatest value of x. So this is 25. This is the... No, that's y. This one I want to keep. So this one, or the least value of x, I guess. So let's switch that to +8 and set y to 25 there. Oh, hello there. Well, you see, that is a... Oh, fuck, that's wrong. Well, you see, that is a... Well, Mr. What is it? Penleveme? Okay, I probably did not say that right. That is a... What is called a clickbaity title to draw people in. That is only, like, a half lie because I am doing stuff to make an alien entity in this. Okay, that is too far back. What am I doing? Actually, maybe we move the point, that one, a bit further back. Which point is that I need to adjust now? Oh, this one. So if I move this one to, like, +4, let's say. +4 times scale. Well, I mean, it doesn't have a window title that exactly showing this, but almost straight Java. It's more specifically using processing, which is effectively a library for Java that wraps a lot of the OpenGL stuff. I only half did that. Poop. Wait, why is... Oh, I have another one that I gotta fix that on. That's why. Okay. But yeah. Basically processing is just a really nice and user-friendly wrapper for OpenGL that handles all the window creation and management stuff, as well as input processing, and then just like hands the rest off to you at the start of a frame, or once an input's been detected, it hands, hey, this input's been detected, off to you in a very nice and friendly way to do it, which lets me focus on actually doing the game. But it also does have very powerful features, like it does give it access to OpenGL shaders, which I have made some use of. Where was the other one that I had to do that? I think it was this one. Right here, yeah, +4 times scale. Well, this is a desktop app, and because, well, I started making this game like 5 years ago when I was first starting to like learn how to programming stuff. And processing is one of like the first things that I learned for doing graphical stuff. So it just kind of started from there, and it's gone on. Plus, it's more fun and more of a bit of a challenge to just do it all yourself. It's more rewarding in the end as well, because it's not like, oh, well, I just use these tools. Like, no, I did all of that myself. And yeah, no, I feel like that maybe should come back in instead of going out. So. Which one was that? It was +8. Should I just make this one 0, I guess? It's good. It's an alien. The proportions don't matter. Well, I mean, maybe, but it's not really a job thing. Working in the games industry kind of sucks, as, I don't know, all these layoffs and such that you might hear about might allude to. So it's more like a for fun thing, and what can I try to make? Yeah, this body has some pretty weird proportions, I must say. Oh well. I haven't put in legs yet, I guess. Let's move that over a little bit. So let's move that, say, +2 instead of 0. So +2. Yeah, that looks fine. Alright, that is, I guess, what I wanted to do for the body mostly done there. It looks strange, but it's an alien, so I'm allowed to make it look weird and strange, I guess. Alright, what do I do next? I guess we could go to do the head next. Because that's going to be a bit that is, I guess, a bit more simple, I guess. So render the color selector. I want to say, what kind of a color do we want? We want to make it more. Let's make it more like this. Then that would be colors 35. 155, 17, and then we okay. So at whatever level we stopped with the so first of all, draw X minus like 25. Let's start with that. Times scale and draw Y minus, what was that value I got, up to 20 by the looks of things? Yeah, that's 20 times scale, and then it's gonna be move up like 5. Maybe we'll see if we want to do 10. So the X is going to make the same. We'll go up to 25. And then we'll go way out the other direction in terms of the head. Draw Y plus or minus 20 times scale. Alright. What is wrong? Where did I forget a semicolon? Render. Render. What? Which one of these did I miss? S-C-A-L-E. Okay. Wow, that is way off. Okay, I do want that to actually be like way taller though. So I will make that like 10 tall, I guess. But why is it so far out in that direction? But then, oh right, because we were already offset like that. So maybe we say 15 instead. We'll bump this up to 30. And maybe say 25 on that end, because that is already offset in that one direction by a fair bit. All right, that's a bit better. That does. Maybe 10 is. Maybe we'll do like 8 or something for that. But yeah, actually, no, we just need to like move it back the other direction a little bit. A little bit more. Actually, we just need to move it in general. So let's go 30 in that direction, say, and we'll reel it back in a little bit more. Say 12, I guess, in this direction, and I don't think going all the way up to 30 was a good chance. Let's try 28. Stop through this. Keep showing support to make the top 50. How do we do? Okay, whatever. Interesting. YouTube has, by the looks of things, they've added some sort of live XP system, or yeah, some sort of experience points? Some sort of XP system to the live chat. And I have no idea how the hell you get live points. I'm just looking at here. Obviously, we have our number one here. I guess the only, which, I mean, I guess that's not a very high bar. They're the only person to, I guess, have done anything. Just like sending chat messages do that? I have no idea how you get XP. It didn't, YouTube doesn't explain this. What's going on there? When did they add this as well? I know I haven't been streaming for a while. That's for reasons. I actually kind of wanted to, well, initially I didn't think I was going to be able to this weekend, and I thought I was going to be able to last weekend, but then things got swapped. And I would have been able to, I would have streamed on Friday, but I just wasn't in a good position to do streaming stuff when the time I would have done it came around, because I didn't know, it was a bit later, because that stuff going on, but it was a bit later, and then I also didn't know when WAN show was going to be, and if that was just going to be like, I start my stream and then bam, WAN show's, turns out it wouldn't have mattered, because WAN show was stupid late this week. Yeah, that works for the head, though. I do kind of want to make maybe a little bit off the back where it kind of curves down a bit. Obviously, we're still going to just use triangles. And the front, actually, we'll also make it go down. Let's make that little front thing first. So, we're only going to really be saving 1 point. So instead of minus 28 from 20, we're going to do 18, let's say. So those 2 points are the same. And then this other one is not going to go nearly to plus 30. It's going to go to minus 8. Let's see how this looks. Let's see. Oh, that needs to go back way further. Okay. Can't just go minus 8. Let's see if I go to 0, actually. What does that look like? All right. Yeah, that looks a bit good. And then we want to do a smaller, or maybe like a smaller one of these on the back. That like, how would I do this? I do kind of want it to go to a point at the back, but here, we'll copy this one again because that kind of has a point that I'll be making use of here. It's this one, but we'll say 18 on that, and the rest have to be brought into it. So like plus 20, or we'll keep the y value. Well, here, let's just first set the x to plus 25 and plus 25 again. So then one has to be 20, and then this, wait, no, this one also needs to be plus 30 then. And then this can also then again be plus 20. I know what I'm doing. I know exactly what I'm doing. Oh yeah, that should go way. Okay, Which one was it that I said to only x of 25? Should be 20. Make that triangle way longer. And maybe make it go only one difference, just to have that, so it's good 19. Make it a slight bit thicker, only a little bit. I mean, obviously this is scaled up a bit, so this looks a little bit different. This might look a little different. Yeah, I guess that kind of works. It does still feel like it comes to a point. Here, let's make it slightly bigger. Boop. It does still kind of feel like it comes to a point, but also kind of feels like it slopes down to that point a little bit more. To be fair, I could have also just added another little bit on the back, but I think this is good. This is going to be a very weird alien. Okay, so before I go on and do the legs, I am going to quickly go for a bit of a bathroom break. This is a horrible screen to be on for that, so I will just go to the black screen for now. And where's my back soon one? Break. There it is. Alright, I will be back momentarily. I'm back, and we can turn this off. Alright, so, legs or whatever, right? Do I want to make these the same color as the head? I mean, if we refer back to the concept art that I drew at the beginning of the stream, the legs were slightly lighter color, so I guess I could do that. Everyone else's legs have been completely straight, so making these legs some form of, like, angled mess, even if it's just, like, out and back a little bit with triangles, would probably be pretty cool. Actually, they should probably go the other direction. They should probably go the other direction from the actual body. So if the body is going this way, the legs should then go this way and then back a bit instead of like this. So like the body kind of goes like this. The legs should then go like this instead of like this again. I guess that's kind of a structural stability thing. Obviously, this is looking very weird and alien already, and I guess that's kind of the point. I also got to do the arms at some point, because I want them to have arms. That's such a weird thing in this game. Arms are hard, which is why I've never done them before. But yeah, here, I guess... And I might add like a mouth. I might add a mouth later. It's probably just gonna be like a black triangle at the front of the face. But anyhow, that's a later thing. For now, we're gonna render fill. Let's get a slightly lighter shade of green here for the legs. It's 21, 193, 28, let's say. Okay, hopefully I don't need... I'll need the color selected for the arms. Okay, the arms are probably going to be the same color slightly, though. Whatever. Okay, so triangle time! So the bottom of the body was at plus 25. And it extends from plus 25, plus 25. From -8 to +2. So that is 10 long, which means should probably start the legs as like 3 wide-ish. So we'll start it immediately at that x minus, so draw x minus 8 times scale. Draw y plus 25 times scale. And then we'll go 3 in for the next one. Yes. So this should be 5, I think. Yes, 5. And then I'm gonna go down. This down is gonna go over to like, let's see, draw x plus 2, let's say. So we're -5 to +2. That is actually a pretty big jump. Oh, times scale. Plus... This is when shit starts to get strange. Oh. Where did I misspell scale? S-A-C-L-E. There it is. Alright, let's see what this first leg looks like. Or the first leg. Oh, the first leg. Yeah. What does this look like? Obviously not very thick as... Well, it's a single triangle. There's going to be a second... What's the word? Counterpoint triangle to make the quad. I could have made this a quadrilateral instead of just a triangle, I suppose, but I'm doing everything with triangles for some reason, so... Screw it, I guess. Oh god, making this in 3D is going to be a pain in the ass. I'm just thinking that now because I do want this entity to also be available in 3D mode. It'll be a real weird one, I'll tell you that. I haven't thought at all about how I rendered this in 3D. Anyway, so we do the -5 one. This is the one that we replace with the plus, with the plus 32. And then we want to go 3 over from 2. So that's -1. Or would that just be 0? If this looks weird, it's 0. Actually, it might be. Oh no, it would be 0, wouldn't it? Well, let's see what this looks like first. Maybe this looks good. Also, do not think I want to do a walking animation. That'd be way too much effort. For now... Hello? Are we having the bug again? No, it's the stupid bug again! The one that I encountered before the stream. I am on the game right now. So if I Alt F4, this stop button I don't think will help me. Maybe if I run in debug mode it'll work? Nope. So here, stop it. Let's debug. Debug. Right then, I will have to go to my face here. I will have to restart processing them because it is screwing with me again. Oh. Oh, my taskbar being inconsistent? What? No. Never! That never happens! Also, I swear I had the folder for this open, so I don't know what happened there. Skinny man. And then I need to open the actual processing executable, because as I mentioned earlier, well, that can't be easy on Windows now, can it? So we go to my processing installations, 4.4.8, which I think they may have a newer version out. I'm actually not sure if they do. Alright. Here we are. There we go. Alright, that looks okay for the leg there. Right, we'll copy these, translate it over to the other leg, and then we'll make the final other half of these legs. So +4 is where the second half goes. So actually, the other one starts at -5. Or -5 plus. Wait. Oh, I could have made these an extra wide. Whoops. Wait, is that? Hang on, now I'm confused. Very bottom. No, +2. Okay, so 7. So we need to. Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, so +2, obviously, for this one. So -8 plus 7 is -1 over here. And then this one should go down to 6 plus 6. I think. And these should be at 9. And then, bam, legs. Bam, legs. What is this? What is this thing? Now the other half of the legs, which are basically just going to be these, but going back the other way once again. So basically we take these and take anywhere where the original height of 25 is. We say 25 or 32. 25, that's like 7, so 32. Let's go 8. 40. Yeah, we'll go to 40. Plus 40. Plus 40. Anywhere that's 25 goes to 40. Alright. Alright, let's see this. See this in action. Yeah, that works. Sure. Then we just need the other one. Once again, 25 to 40, 25 to 40, 25 to 40. Maybe we move... I don't know if I should actually give it feet or if this is fine. Yeah, this is fine. Probably this is fine. So... Alright, now I just, like, need arms, which are gonna be hard. Which is gonna be, like, hard. So those are gonna go, like, right around from, like, up here, down, and over a bit. Oh boy. This is about the same size. Actually, this might be a bit taller than the player now. Oh well. So then... This is a pretty beefy render function, honestly. Arms. Let's use the same fill color for the arms, because I'm lazy. Render.triangle. Start at 0. Draw Y minus. Goes all the way up to like 50. Let's go minus 10 to start with. Then draw X minus actually no, this one should be in the same place. Draw Y. And we'll go 13 times scale. And then this one will go out to draw X minus 7 times scale, comma, draw Y caught that one. And didn't catch the other one though. Or the other one. How many times did I do that? Jeez. No, actually, that should be going out a bit far. I mean, I guess this is only half, but still, this should be going out a bit farther. Let's go 12. It obviously is going to need a bit of thickness, but we'll give it that thickness. TM. We will TM, give it TM the thickness. TM, TM, TM. As you might expect. Alright, that's a bit better. Let's do the thickening of it. Which, again, could have been a quad. So that needs to go from the lower one to this needs to be 7 minus 3 is 4. So it needs to be 4. And then we can, and then I could actually just do a quad, like a straight axis aligned quad, going out a little bit. from that as the arm, because I don't feel like doing triangles for that. So should be render.quad. So draw x minus 12 times the scale. Actually, so that's the first side of it. Then the other ones are going to have the same y values, but I think draw x minus 18 times scale. That's that first, this one. Hope it didn't expect me to provide these in a specific winding order, because that'd be kind of annoying. And I wasn't planning on doing that. What the fuck? That probably didn't come through the microphone, but I just heard someone shouting outside. I didn't understand what they said, but I heard it, so... Huh. That's strange. It's just not like raining or thundering out, I suppose. What the hell is that? Hang on. Zoom that in. Why? What's up with those Y values? Why are they... I must have screwed one of them up. Yeah. So we have Y minus 4, Y minus 7, Y minus 4, Y minus 7. What? Hang on, I need to take a screenshot of this and enlarge it. Let's open up GIMP here so I can zoom in. Shut it. I should just turn that off. Let's do that. Edit, paste. Because apparently, for some reason, it's not showing up as a key combo. That is decidedly going up there. What the heck? This is like a... We want to take a big look at this thing. This is what... This like does look strange for some reason. Anti-aliasing almost certainly. But this does look a little weird. I wasn't crazy in thinking that it looks weird. But I'm not crazy in thinking this looks weird. What the heck? The Y values shouldn't be different. What the heck? Oh. Here, let's... place these all on separate lines so I can kind of line up the comma there. Alright, so 12, 12, 4, 7. 18, 18, 4, 7. What the fuck? Why is this weird? If I'd like rearrange these lines, is that going to do it? What if I did that? Ooh, now they're interlaced or whatever. Oh, it's still open. Use the exit button. Maybe it won't break if I use the exit button. Okay, it is a winding order thing. Ah! Actually, that kind of looks cool. Not what I want, though. But it does look cool. It's probably the back face culling that's doing it. Okay.
Now you see, if I keep swapping around these coordinate values randomly, I will eventually get something that works. Probably. There it is. That was all thick, honestly. Oh well, let's make the other one. Which, on the surface, would feel like just translate... Oh, well, here, let me re-add this to a single line here. This is 3, so we should probably, like, minus 5 from all the y's, so it'd be... 5, 8. 8 plus 1. This would be 2 and 2. Then 4 plus 5 is 4 minus this is good. Plus 1. Plus 1. And then 2, 2. Mibbity schmubbity schmoo. The alien is then done, I guess. Well, texture based is done. I don't need to flip the texture when the thing's face when the thing faces the other direction. But yeah. Oh, actually, no, it's not done. Because I did want to make this the bottom arm actually go up and into it a little bit, which means I gotta actually figure out the slopes. These are very weird looking. This is a very weird looking alien, I must admit. Probably should have just gone for the classic little green man, but I wanted to do something a little bit more interesting. It almost looks like this thing is like skiing. I'll tell you right now. In case it's not, I intend this side to be the front side, but it kind of looks like it's skiing, and this side is the front side, and it's like, you know, skis would be right down here, arms just like flailing behind it. Oh, why does that look? And it's just like leaning towards it. That's what it looks like. That's not what I intended. Not at all. Anyhow. But now I need to figure out moving the anchor point for this. The anchor point's on this triangle, and I guess one of them on this triangle. So I guess this one in a bit. Okay, let me figure out what this slope is. So the goes from 5 to 2, so 5 to 2, and on the X it goes from 0 to 12. Right? Yeah. So the slope would be 1/4. So, if we wanted to move it so up, it goes up 1 for every 4 it goes over. So we need to move it like 8, or so we want to extend it 8 back, we go up 2. So X plus 8 times scale
Anywhere we just did that, we need to add 2. So this would be 7, 7. Instead of 8, it should be 10. And if I mathed correctly there, we should have the arm just be extended up and backwards by 2 units. Up by 2 units, but backwards by a bit more. Yeah, that actually looks about right. Yeah, that works. That's actually basically on the other edge of it. But yeah, that kind of makes that arm a bit longer. Actually, maybe to compensate for that, we'll make this little rectangle here like a 2 units shorter, let's say. That sounds good. So this, which goes back to 18, let's say back to 16 instead. Alright, that looks pretty good. Alright, and I call that, I guess at 1 hour and 32 minutes into the stream, I'll call that texture done. Done for now. Oh wait, I guess I want to work on flipping it the other direction. So the default facing is going to be left, so that's going to be the false. So facing right is going to be the Boolean. So Boolean facing right equals we're just gonna have int facing equals 1. Actually, facing equals, this is not RIGHT. Okay. Just do that to get this number. So it's easy enough to toggle that, but we won't fuck up this variable on accident. So then, anywhere where I multiply the x times scale, I then need to multiply by this. So like, so 0 is 0, which is fine. Okay, let's just go vertically. Vertically is going to be easier. That way everything is mostly aligned. Draw x before scale. I say mostly aligned. It's not going to be perfect. Use judgment, actually check. So bam, bam, bam. Bang, bang, bang. And then there, not there, there. Okay, that's the body and head done. The legs are, unsurprised, somehow always more complex. I guess there's 2 of them, which, I guess that doubles complexity. Thankfully, these guys don't actually ever really land directly on X. On our, I guess what we would call the X-axis. Axis for the legs here. Or on the Y-axis, I guess it would be. They don't directly land on the Y-axis. They also always have a, by the looks of things, thankfully, single-digit offset of some sort. So that's easy enough to do. And then down here we get to be a little bit more complex. So draw x times something times scale. Draw x times something times scale. Draw x times something times scale. This is not at all confusing at all. This is not at all confusing math. I still think I might want to just go make a lot of these whatever time scales their own variables to clean this thing up a little bit, but I can do that later. For now, oh, and the center point, we're gonna get rid of that. We don't need that anymore. Alright, so now, I've set it to false currently, so it should look exactly the same as when I last looked at it. No change. And then I'll set that variable to true, and it'll go the other way. So yeah. Alright, perfect. Not exactly. A lot actually went right. The leg swapped position, the body swapped. It's just that one bit of the body there that didn't swap position. Isn't that like the first one as well? Hang on. Oh, it is. I literally just didn't add. Wow. I'll only do it once, otherwise it literally will completely nuke itself out. Doing it twice would do nothing. This would also technically allow me to horizontally stretch if I really felt like it, for whatever reason. Yeah, that's that. Why does it look weird going this direction? That's that scoliosis-ridden alien. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know why it looks so weird going the other direction. It's definitely right, though. Alright. Yeah, now it's officially done, because it'll swap. Wait. Hang on, did I mess? Actually, no. I think this is a little bit straighter. Hang on. Yeah. Exit. There might be another issue that I just spotted there, where I may have forgotten to add it somewhere in the body again. One of these triangles is not like one of the others. Maybe. Nope, I was imagining it. It just seems way more... I swear, this section here seems way more extreme in this direction, but it isn't. It is exactly the same. Anyhow, that thing looks horrifying. We can... Crap. Well, easy way to figure this out. We will now start, I guess, considering didn't go for 2 hours here. We will, I guess, now start actually working on the proper implementation here. And click on you, thank you. Oh, and we also don't need to draw the man there. Alright, so that screen's been cleaned up. Now, alright, now is going to need to get movement manager. There's all sorts of things I gotta do. Like I gotta do constructors, but we'll just make public MOV movement. Turn null for now. Here, let me open up the entity class in something else on the side here so I can actually tell what the signature of these things is, because that's another thing. It doesn't actually, processing's development environment can be a bit bad. It doesn't give me the proper, okay, nothing I want to show here. Alright. What? Is that just not correct syntax? Here. It should be... It should be correct. And that is correct! What the heck? Okay, so then get x, get y, or yeah, get and set x, y, z are floats. Or get x, y, z are floats. So public float get x, return x, public float get y, return y, public float get z. Oh, that's not the right symbol. Return 0 and public. Oh god dang it! Come on, why did I do this? I might change this because I never use this. ENTIT or set x float new x x equals new x. These functions specifically are used by the physics engine to actually do movement, basically. So you best, unless you really want to do something weird, if you're implementing this, just set it to return this, return this, return this. Alright. There's my set xyz methods done. Public boolean collides with entities. Collides with entities. Return false. Because this will not... Well, for now, nothing does. But maybe in the future I'll have this one be one of the ones that can kind of stand on top of all this. The player... I haven't decided whether the player should or shouldn't actually be able to do that. I think in the future they should. That way non-hostile entities can be a thing for the player to have to try platforming across. Ideally also maybe I'll have it so when you stand on an entity, you move with that entity, but that's way harder to do. And I'd actually probably... Obviously you can move against it, but like... We'll see. We will see. Okay, I did not spell that right. Just... Okay, that's where I didn't spell it. Okay. Get hitbox 3D. So public null that for now. It's also then going to probably complain about the 2D. Oh no, in 3D. Public boolean in 3D return false. What next? I think this boolean is supposed to be player 3D. Yeah, player in 3D. I actually don't know what that's going to do in multiplayer. But basically, because of how the 2D versus 3D systems of this game work, And an entity should be able to choose whether it's in 3D mode or 2D mode on a 3D stage. And they can base their decision off whether the player is in 2D or 3D mode, basically. So that they can either always appear, or maybe they only appear when in 3D, you know. On the 3D side of things, when it's a 3D stage, that's all that sort of stuff. Okay, now for the stage entity. Update takes in a float and the level collisions. Okay. So I'm going to put this one towards the top, as this is where all the AI technically should happen. I'm considering maybe reducing the frequency with which entities have their AI actually processed, because of how theoretically fast the game runs. I'd say maybe instead of running every entity's AI every cycle, we divide it into like groups of like 4 or something, or divide all the entities into groups of 4, and then every 4th millisecond process an entity's AI, and then we kind of like stagger them, so each entity, so it's not every entity gets ticked every 4 ticks, it's every 4th entity gets ticked every millisecond, and then which ones are specifically changing every millisecond or so. But then we get into the thing is, well, what happens if it's been more than 4 milliseconds since the last time these ones were ticked? Anyhow, that's not for... Not for me to... That's not for anything useful right now. We need float, MSTC, array list of collider 2D. I also should end up passing in the 3D colliders, I guess. Stage. This is to allow the entity to do its own collision checking, basically. Yeah, I need to import array list. Import java.util.array list. Alright, an update does nothing for now. Okay, serialization .id. So now it's going to so public identifier ID return no actually so public static final ID equals identifier of LIEN. And I'll add the scheme and namespace. What? Error on final. If I remove. Variable declarer ID. What? Oh. Oh. Yeah, that I don't know what it was talking about there, but that's because I forgot to do that. So then this can just return ID. It's just an automated way to get that, basically. Now, draw 3D, which takes the same parameters as this. So D needs to be capital. Kill. Okay. Public void kill. There's a lot of things that entities require. Serialize. Okay, I don't remember what the function signature is for serialize off the top of my head. Serialization, that's the interface, I believe. Serialized data. Look, serialized data, serialize. I do not remember what I need to do for that. I need to do something though. Involving the identifier. Ooh. Killable.respawn. Public void respawn. Dang, entities are complicated. I just like do it all yourself. I don't want to do any of this because entities are kind of weird. Get hitbox 2D. Okay. Just copy paste this. Get hitbox 2D. It's a collider 2D, and it doesn't have a Z offset. We will do that one. Save. Public JSON object. Okay, so JSON object save. Just do that. Import data.star. Stage entity player interaction. Why are these out of order? Oh my god. Stage entity. There is not much within stage entity, so why it all got split up, I do not know. Well, there's a 2D and a 3D one, so I'll just get both of these. I have not been doing Java docs along with them. These are not going to be abstract. These are just going to be the real thing. That word just happens to come along for the ride. For now, may as well just return null. Okay, are we done? No, of course we're not. Get vertical velocity. This is going to be an entity thing. This has to do with the collision system. It's a float, right? So, oh, my posture's horrible. Okay, this is going to be a public float get ver. Let me just copy this. Vertical velocity. And it's gonna want me to set it at the same time. Oh, I'll get that. Java doc there. So I will public okay, just return this. Java doc string that. How much more do I have to do? Oh my gosh, I forgot. Killable is dead. Public. Oh, it's finally done. Well, technically, that took forever, but we still have the, what, 3 constructors that we need to do here. Let me look at the goon. How many, what does it have in terms of constructors? Okay, there's... Alright, the 3 that I kind of expected. 3, you know, the 3 common ones that are here, really. I will place these in at the top, but just kind of leave them... leave them all empty for now. Well, okay. Besides loading the X and Y from the placement context, because that is actually very useful. Outside of that, I don't really care right now. But this is everything that is technically needed. Nothing is implemented though. So like, everything will potentially fail. But like, what's the worst that could happen if I just register this thing right now? And then see if I can place it. Let's go to register. Find where all the entity registry happens. Entity, okay. How did I make this? Oh, okay. Wait, how did I make this one not show up? I forget. Did I just hard code something to not have this one show up? I do not know. Anyhow, we will take this and just register everything for, or just you know, boilerplate this stuff for now. All right. Missing operator, what? So we have ID, comma, the 3 constructors. Period there, not a comma. Yeah, okay. What could possibly go wrong here? Most of these constructors don't do shit. So I won't try to save. Also, there's no actual save functionality. So I won't attempt to do any of that. But if we go over to my test level, I'll just say go into this one here. If you were able to see that the player did just move up, that is something I briefly talked about earlier. We got the alien enemy. We didn't do any sort of preview for this. But that's a lot of errors in the console there. But yeah. What are these errors for? Here. Let's quit. Right. It just no collision. Okay, I guess collision is the one thing I will implement because it probably does need that. What are kind of like the bounds of this thing? I'm just gonna give it a simple box for now. What's the minimum and maximum values that I got for this thing? So it looks like, so from the head, I went up to 30, so plus 30, or let me write this down, something physical. So we get, okay, we get plus 30, and then the Y with the highest value. Is that... Oh, and this would technically have to change
per direction. Kind of annoying. Oh well.
So the highest Y is going to be on the legs.
I feel like 40. Yeah.
Okay. And then
The lowest X, which I think is also on the head, right? The smallest X value. So 16, 18. Probably actually like 25, right? Plus 30 there. Seeing all the plus 30s from the head. What about going the other way? What's the minimum X that we got here? Oh yeah, that would be on the arms. So that would be... $18, I guess. Huh. I would not have thought that 18 would be
the minimum we get, but I guess it is. It doesn't extend too far out that direction. So, negative 18 there. And I think negative 30 is like where we get to on the Y side of things here, right?
So, negative 20, negative 20, positive. Yeah, basically negative 30 on the Y.
So, okay, so now, do I have something that just generates the full rectangular hitbox, or do I have to do these things myself? So util.
Huh.
Oh, that might be in the hitbox actually. So, actually, no, I definitely do. So if I go Collider 2D, I have create rect hitbox with just an XY and a DX and DY. So we're gonna have hitbox 2D, so oh wait, so x comma hby comma, so those are the values we're actually gonna need to figure out what we're gonna do with, and then the total height is going to be, well, really the X one's the one I got to figure out. The height is always going to be quite constant. Uh, 40 minus 30, that's 70. Oh, it's, I guess, comma 70. And then 30 minus 18, 48. So float HB x equals 0, and then float HBY equals 0. Okay, well, it's actually going to be y minus 30 for that. And then x minus 18. Or actually, it's going to depend on direction. So grab this little conditional here. So we'll say x plus, and then so
Right, and then colon -18. So when it's not -18, it's gonna be 30. Whoa, okay. Oh wait, 30s. That's a wild swinging hitbox based off direction, but I guess that's just how I designed this thing. It's quite off center. I actually don't know if this hitbox is actually accurate, but now that I got something being built there. Oh, it's -30. Dang it. Not +30, -30, because it's going to be flipped. It's still going to be minus. Whatever. Let's go back into, say, end stage. Alright. Still getting null pointer exceptions, damn it. Oh, I did have these set to true. But yeah, the tip of that and the arms, I guess. Center is like right here, so I guess it is farther in that direction. Oh well. Actually, probably could have brought that hitbox in a bit. I know. What is it complaining about now? Movement manager. That's an easy fix. Then we'll end. Find where movement manager is. Turn new. No MOVE manager. There you go. That should shut it up. Also, that should prevent it from trying to do any further physics. Because that's kind of the point of the no movement manager is kind of meant in place of the null movement manager, but it also is specifically checked for, so if it does see a no movement manager, it'll just stop attempting to process physics on whatever provided that, as it's not supposed to move. That's the superpower of the no movement manager. So now this should just exist. Yeah, okay. These just exist now, which is cool. That, I think, is where I'm going to end things off for today. So, I'm going to say thank you all for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this stream. If you want to see more streams like this, hopefully I'll be doing another stream similar-ish time next week. I don't, until Thanksgiving, foresee any actual things to prevent me from streaming. Like I was kind of briefly mentioned earlier, streaming schedule has been nuts recently. I haven't been able to stream the past couple weeks due to family stuff. Really, I didn't think I was going to be streaming this weekend, but then what was going to prevent me this weekend was moved to last weekend. So it's all annoying stuff. But anyhow, yes. If you do want to check out the current version of the game, it doesn't have. Hit my monitor. Okay, if you don't, it doesn't have all this stuff I'm working on, obviously, but it is still quite good. That's linked in the description. Like the stream on your way out, subscribe, turn on notifications, all that stuff, and I see you all in the next live stream video.